like in the Disney tradition, it's more about recreating, you know, in some kind of nostalgic storybook, you know, warmth or something, right? And a lot of the Disney features in the early days were about, you know, taking us into the world of Pinocchio and that wood shop, and you know, like all the observation of that stuff, which is amazing and beautiful. But for us, that was never the appeal.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those old fairy tales too. I've heard people talk about how they were used by parents to keep their kids from straying off because
that's interesting.
Overwhelmed, and if you really look at the darkness of those stories,
scary.
They're really like scaring the shit out of
They're
kids.
cautionary tales. They're
like
moralistic.
If you wander off from your parents, you're gonna get eaten. You're gonna get attacked.
Yeah.
You're gonna get shot. But that's another thing I think is that more family films these days, as I think parental styles are changing a little bit and softening up, are more fun and more lighthearted. Like it's okay to make a kids movie that's playful and isn't necessarily as serious beneath its core. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's right. I just also think there's been so many of these movies that like you need to push the boundaries. You know, some of the Pixar movies are pushing the boundaries of emotional depth in storytelling and how dark something can go, and really you realize that there's a much higher tolerance in the audience for real serious dramatic things in a children's film. And in our case, you know, we're trying to have all of that emotion, but also play with the difference between fantasy and reality all the time. Fake and real. You know, like breaking the wall and grounding the movie all at once. And that's to me like my favorite thing. And when I was a kid, I felt this way. I feel like kids feel this way all the time. Kids are trying to put the world together, right? They're trying to make sense of everything. So they're really delighted when you mess with the rules because they're constantly engaged in like putting the rules together and understanding them. So it's like funny when like the grown up is doing the wrong thing. and or when like Daffy Duck like realizes he's in the cartoon. You know what I mean? He can walk off the page. You know, like those kinds of things are really stimulating to me. And to me, that's what's like amazing about animation is it gives you already have a little bit of buy-in from the audience and a willingness to accept that. And in live action, the line is just a little bit more conservative for some reason.